Hello everyone, this video is for learning purpose only and is not meant for the real industrial practicing. We are from the group 4 of the subject SKTB 4163 section 1 Safety and Health in Chemical and Bioindustry. This is our service learning case study 2. Our group member is listed here. For the case study 2, the scenario 1, which is the flushing for new pipeline. Flushing steam piping is an action that is sometimes overlooked but can cause damage to the component of the steam system. Scale and internal debris built inside the steam pipes during the installation. It is highly advised that all of these debris to be flushed out of the steam piping before the steam pipes become operational. Flushing is a pre-commissioning activity that involves the piping water or any other suitable medium such as dry air in sufficient quantity and velocity through a given section of piping, completely filling that the section so that the flow of medium through the system will be forcibly remove the any rust, construction, debris, or milk rust of the system. During the steam blowing operation, the steam is generated at low pressure and huge volume of the steam flow at high velocity through the critical point. When the steam operates at high velocity is passed through the piping, scale or the small particles that are stuck in the piping internal are carried away by the steam, thereby will cleaning the internal of the piping. For this scenario, the steam pipeline is 100 meters long before it reaches the rotatory dryer. The pipeline requires flushing. Therefore, the compressed dry air is utilized for the flushing activity. Then, get the permission from the client to use the dry air prior to supplying dry air into the new standard steel pipeline. The steam pipeline is isolated from the rotatory dryer and pressure relief valve. Then, 5 bar pressure is channeled into the pipeline and calibrated the pressure gauge is installed. The pipe is purged several times until no visible foreign item can be seen. The pressure test is performed after the flushing.
Hi, let me introduce to you what is HIRARC. HIRARC is a compound word which is made out of 3 consecutive activities running one after another. So the first is hazard identification, the identification of anything that is possible to cause harm or undesired event. Followed by RA, risk assessment, assess the possibility of the harm can be done which is known as risk. And the RC, risk control, a method used to minimize the risk exposed. So here is the risk assessment metric. Next, our first working activity is the moving steam pipeline. So the hazard identified is falling of heavy steam pipeline, which may cause injuries or accident to nearby worker. The existing risk control is to make a barricade area to avoid people walking nearby the moving steam pipe area. So the likelihood identified is 3 and severity is 4. Thus the risk is 12, it is medium. And the recommended control measure is we only allow trained and professional worker to enter the barricade area. Next work activity is to check the pressure inside the steam pipeline. The hazard identified is overpressure. It will lead to explosion of the opening of the steam pipeline. The existing risk control is to ensure no worker is around at the opening of the pipeline, and the likelihood identified is 3, same as the severity, also 3, and the risk is 9. It is medium. And recommended control measure is release the pressure before sending for flushing. For the next work activity, it is insert dry air into the pipe. The hazard identified is leaking of dry air along the pipe. It may cause the respiratory alignments, skin irritation, and also eye itching. The existing risk control is to ensure all system part components are properly set up for steam flushing. The likelihood identified for this working activity is 4 and severity is 3. Thus the risk is 12. It is considered medium. And the recommended control measure is a commissioning engineer should supervise the flushing activity during this working activity.
When the isolation valve is open to purge out the debris, the hazard will be the leftover debris and the foreign item which will cause injury. Thus, it is a must to ensure that the effectiveness of pressure gauge and make sure that the pressure is maintained at 5 bar. The likelihood for this activity to occur is 3 and the severity is 4. This activity is considered under medium risk. In order to reduce the risk of this activity, the worker should avoid staying near to the purge area. For the housekeeping event, the hazard will be the release of foreign item which will cause skin and eye irritation or might cause respiratory problem. Thus, it is a must to wear appropriate PPE during the process. The likelihood for this event to occur is 4 and the severity is 2. Thus, it is under medium risk. In order to reduce the risk of this event, we must make sure that the process is under supervised at all times. The purpose of HIRARC is to identify the potential danger and to determine the likelihood of an accident or financial loss. It is also used to analyze any element or hazard that may put the workers at danger of an accident. HIRARC is also used to consider the danger that could occur under any situation or scenario. Moreover, HIRARC allows workers to develop, implement and monitor preventive measures against occupational harm hazard. Lastly, HIRARC is used to prevent, limit and minimize the number of accidents that occur. That's all from us. Thank you for your attention.